Colorado FBLA. Welcome to your 2021 state conference. Thank you to Jen Gervin with the state office that invited me to offer a yoga session for you all today. I would like to call out the dog in the room. My assistant yoga teacher, Augie, might be in and out of frame to help me out with the class today, but just wanted to give you a heads up of that and wanted to wish you so much luck on your events that you have coming up. To get started today, make sure you have a comfy, warm spot, enough room to move. You can have a yoga mat, but it's by no means required. Make sure you have some water nearby. Go ahead and kick off those socks and shoes. Bare feet will be the easiest thing to accomplish this class in, and make sure you're wearing something that's easy to move in. Once you feel ready to go, once you feel prepared, we are going to go ahead and start off in a comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you today. I forgot to mention too, my name is Jackie Geiselman. I have the luxury of working with Jen in the state office, and I am also a part-time yoga teacher. So lovely to be here with you all today, and so excited to offer this session. Go ahead, find that comfortable seated position, whatever that is. You could be sitting on your knees, crisscross. You could even let your legs go straight out in front of you, whatever is comfortable for you today to be able to sit in for about 10 breaths. Once you get those wiggle wobbles out, once you find that comfortable seat, let your hands fall where they're comfortable. Maybe that's on top of your knees. Maybe that's resting in your lap, whatever is comfortable for you. And then begin to let the periphery of your gaze go a little bit fuzzy. Maybe find a point on the carpet in front of you or on the floor in front of you. And if you're comfortable, maybe even let your eyes close completely. Beginning to focus in on our breath. Really big, deep inhale, feel those lungs expand. And then a soft, controlled exhale, allowing yourself to sink a little bit further down into your body, into what your sensation is right here, right now. Keep those really big inhales, really deep, controlled exhales going, while you begin to focus in on that inner landscape. What is it that your shoulders are feeling like? Try and release that tension from your jaw. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Allow with every inhale for that crown, the top of your head to grow a little bit closer to the sky. And with your exhales, feeling those seat bones or whatever is touching the earth right now feel a little bit heavier. Today, we're going to focus on the idea of yoga in general and the fact that yoga and meditation is a way for you to tap into your own superpowers. You can change your physical sensation. You can change how nervous you're feeling, your breath. You can change your outlook on these upcoming events, on all of your excitement and sensation that you have throughout State FBLA this year, and allowing yourself to really fulfill and enjoy it, regardless of those outcomes. And so we'll be focusing on tapping into that superpower here today. Let's take one more big breath together. Biggest, deepest breath yet. Fill up your lungs completely. Maybe even allow that sensation to go down into your belly, maybe even down into your legs. And once your lungs are totally full, take one more little sip of breath in. And then as you exhale, try and control it. Slow, deep exhale, soften those shoulders. Feel yourself anchor down into the earth. If your eyes are closed or out of focus, bring some focus back into them. Flutter those eyes open. And on your inhale breath, let your hands reach up overhead, fingertips reaching up towards the sky. You can even take your gaze up that way. And then as you exhale, we're going to take our right hand to the outside of our left knee. Left hand is going to come back behind us to act as a little brace. On your inhale breath, get a little bit taller, crown reaches towards the sky, maybe find a little bit more weight in that right hand. And then as you exhale, find a little twist. Your gaze can even fall back over your left shoulder. It's really, really early on. Our bodies aren't warm yet, so give yourself some grace here. Let yourself find the sensation, being able to tap into that breath, tap into the sensation of awesomeness, into your superpower. All right, on your next inhale, gently release the clasp. Fingertips reach up overhead. This reach allows us to fill up our lungs completely. And then as you exhale, left hand is going to come to the outside of right knee. Right hand is going to come to rest right behind you as a brace. Again, being really gracious, really sweet with yourself. As you inhale, fill up, create space in between your ribs, in between your vertebrae. And then as you exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper into that twist. Gaze falls back over that shoulder. One more breath here. Go to your edge, go to your limit, but careful of that sensation. Make sure that you are feeling powerful here. On your next inhale breath, let those fingertips reach up overhead, really fill up. And then straight down the middle, we're going to cactus our arms, open up through that heart space. Let that heart shine up towards the sky and find a little baby back bend. Inhale, fingertips reach tall. And then as you exhale, hands are going to come down to the mat. We're going to roll over our knees, sweep them out to the side, and meet in a tabletop. Tabletop means hands are directly underneath our shoulders. Knees are directly underneath your hips. You can check in with your toes, let them fall flat onto your mat, or you can curl them under if that gives you a little bit more stability. And now try and not sink into our shoulders. Stay nice and engaged. There's a ribbon pulling that top of your head forward and a ribbon pulling your tailbone backwards. So you feel this nice long sensation throughout your vertebrae. And we're going to open up through our heart space yet again. On an inhale breath, drop your belly, lift your collarbone towards the front, finding a nice big back bend in this tabletop, opening up through that front space. As you exhale, press into your hands, press into those knees, curl that belly up and in. Let your gaze go towards your belly button, rounding through the back of our heart space. Twice more like that. On your inhale, drop that belly. Feel like your collarbones are separating away from each other. Really big, deep inhale breath. And then as you exhale, feel like you are vacuum sealing your belly up and towards your spine, really allowing that entire vertebrae to open up. Gaze falls towards that belly button. Once more. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Biggest, deepest breath yet. And then as you exhale, press it away, curl up and in, feel that nice rounding sensation through the backside of our body. On your next inhale, come back through that neutral tabletop. Feel that sensation of both sides being nice and engaged, finding that control here. And then walk your hands forward about a handprint distance and step your feet back, making our way into our strong plank pose. Feet land about hip width distance, hands are about shoulder width distance, and then engage your quads, engage your glutes, engage your belly. Feel like you are Superman flying right here and now, engaging your breath. Always an option to drop to knees if this is really intense, but try and find that superpower. Try and find that control. One more big breath here. And then as you exhale, we're going to come all the way down to belly. You can travel through knees or travel through plank. Let those elbows graze your rib cage on the way down. And then once you are on the mat, once you are all the way on your belly, let the tops of your toes press down into the floor. Press down so much that your quads engage, your knees lift up and off the mat. And then let your hands come to rest right underneath your shoulders. On an inhale breath, we're going to press into our toes, engage our low spine slightly, and then put 20% of the weight into your hands to let that heart pull up and through. As you exhale, release. Let that forehead come down to the mat. Thank yourself for getting to state, for being here, for participating in the student organization, and for having these superpowers. Twice more like that. Inhale, press into those toes, low back, 20% of your weight in your hands, cobra pose. Exhale, gently release. Forehead comes to the mat, recognizing how awesome, how accomplished you are. Once more. Inhale, toes back, 20% into your arms. Exhale, release that forehead down to the mat. Soak it all up and in. Really feel how powerful you really are. Let those hands come back underneath those shoulders. Curl over those toes. Press up through either plank or up to tabletop. And then let your hips lift high and back into our downward facing dog. You can take some time to arrive here. Pedal through those feet. Let your right knee drop while that left leg straightens. Let that left leg drop or knee drop while that right leg straightens. The whole time we're pressing into those fingertips, letting those hips lift high towards the sky. As you exhale, soften through your shoulders, soften through that heart space. Let your head feel nice and heavy. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Allow yourself to soak up the sensation of how truly powerful you are right here, right now. We're going to find this superpower by connecting our breath with our body. This is one way when you are in your test or you're in your competition that you can check back in with this superpower and allow yourself to calm down, to know that you are going to be successful regardless of the outcome by finding your breath. Big, deep inhales, really controlled exhales. That is going to be your superpower for the rest of the session. Let's find that breath to body connection. Inhale breath, come up onto your tippy toes. Reach those heels really high. Let those hips grow a foot towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, let those heels get really heavy. Twice more. Inhale, come up to your tippy toes. Exhale, heels get really heavy. Once more. Inhale, tippy toes. Reach it tall, maybe even a little bit higher. Exhale, heels get really heavy. A little change coming up here. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Look at the space in between your thumbs and take 20 tiny, tiny steps to travel to the top of your mat. Knees can bend as much as they need to get there. Let your feet land about hip width distance. They don't need to be touching. And then on your exhale, let your head get really heavy. Keep a little bend in your knees. We're not locking our knees out. We're keeping a nice little bend here to really feel this in our low spine, to feel this in through our entire vertebrae. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Let all those neck muscles, those stress muscles go. On our inhale breath, we're going to press into our shins and we're going to feel like a head forward. Feel your spine get a little bit longer. Keep that lift in the vertebrae and then exhale. Hands can either reach towards the mat or come down to the mat. Let that head get heavy. A lot of our stress muscles exist in our neck and in our shoulders to protect our brain. So tell yourself you're safe, you're in a good space, and you can let it go, just like you can let any stress go before a competition. Inhale, press in, halfway lift, get a little bit taller through the crown of your head. Feel that nice traction throughout your entire vertebrae. Exhale, forward fold. Shake that head yes, shake that head go, let go of any stress. Once more. Inhale, grow nice and tall and long. Maybe engage your core muscles here too to keep yourself upright. Exhale, forward fold. Letting your hands come down to the mat, bending your knees as much as you need to get them there. Inhale, step back, find that plank pose. Again, we feel like Superman right here. We feel nice and powerful, pressing up through our shoulders, engaging our glutes, our quads, our legs, all these strong muscles to keep us nice and engaged. Big inhale breath. And then as you exhale with control, elbows graze those ribs. Yet again, come all the way to belly. Let those tops of your toes press down into the mat. We only have one this time. Inhale, press in with your legs, your back, and then arms. cobra pose. Exhale, release that forehead down to the mat. Give yourself a compliment here of how awesome you really are. And then on an inhale, press it up through your plank or tabletop. Let those hips travel high and back into your downward facing dog. Only once this time. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Let those hips reach high. Exhale, let those heels get really heavy. Heart melts down towards your legs. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Look at that space between your fingers, between your thumbs. You can take 20, 10, maybe one big step to get to the top of your mat. Again, feet land about hip width distance. Exhale, find that nice forward fold. Let go of those stress muscles in your neck. Adding on here, inhale, press into your shins. Find your halfway lift. Feel that nice tall crown reaching forward, and then keep it going. Stand it tall. Sweep those hands up and around, reaching towards the sky, coming into our mountain pose. Reach up through those fingertips. Exhale, melt those shoulders down your back. Inhale, really reach high with those right fingertips. On your exhale, your left hand is going to get really heavy. Inhale, reach up with those right fingertips. On your exhale, let your right hip fall over towards the right hand side while those left fingers are reaching even further towards the earth. One more big breath here. Breathe into the side right ribs. Exhale, lean a little bit further over towards that left hand side. Inhale, come back through midline. Both fingertips are reaching tall to the sky. Exhale, let that right hand get nice and heavy. Inhale, reach up through those left fingertips. Exhale, begin to send those left hips to the left side, letting that right hand just dangle down here towards the side. We're releasing that tension through those shoulders. Reach high with those left fingertips. Exhale, melt over towards that left hand side. Inhale, come back through midline. Both fingertips reaching tall. As you exhale, just like we did when we were seated, open up through your heart space, cactus your arms, open up, a little baby back bend. Inhale, reach tall towards the sky. Now sweep it all the way down, all the way around into your forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, just like we practiced. Reach that crown towards the front. Hip bones are reaching back. And then exhale, let your hands come down to the mat, bending your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, step it back. Find your Superman, your plank pose. Feel the power here. Feel the strength. One line of energy. And then exhale through your knees or through plank. Come all the way down to your belly. Tops of the toes, press in. Press in with your tops of your toes. Engage your low spine. Inhale, 20% of the weight in your hands, cobra pose. Exhale, forehead comes to the mat. Tell yourself how awesome you are. And then inhale, breath, press it up through that plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back into that downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto those tippy toes, reach those hips high. Exhale, heels melt down towards the earth. Inhale, come up onto those tippy toes. Look at that space in between your thumbs. And then again, 20, 10, one big step to get to the top of your mat. Feet land about hip width distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Press into those shins, crown reaches forward, shoulders are dropping down. Exhale, find your forward fold. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. We're gonna test our balance a little bit here coming up. Inhale, breath, big sweep all the way around with your fingertips reaching high up into mountain pose. Fingertips reach really, really tall. Exhale, shoulders melt down your back. Let go of that stress, let go of that tension. Landing hip width distance. Inhale, breath. Come up onto your tippy toes. reaching those fingertips high. Exhale, melt down towards the earth. Twice more like that. Try and come really, really high, up into almost like Barbie shoes, really high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, melt down to the earth. On one more inhale breath, reach it tall. Exhale, melt down towards the earth, heels melting. Inhale, reach those fingertips high, heels stay on the earth this time. Exhale, swan dive it. Let yourself really take your time, melting into our forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift, crown reaching forward, feel that length in your spine, letting go of any tension, any stress, any sort of sensation that isn't positive. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. On your inhale breath, step it back into that plank pose. Find the power here. Again, always an option to drop down to your knees, but test it out. See how strong this makes you feel. And if this doesn't make you feel strong, then go ahead, drop down to your knees. One more big breath, and then exhale. Take your time all the way down to your belly, slow as you can go. Press in with the tops of your toes. Engage your low back. Inhale, 20% in your hands, cobra pose. Exhale, forehead comes down to the earth. Give yourself a compliment. Know how awesome you are. Recognize you genuinely are a superhero. You have all of these superpowers. Next inhale breath. Let yourself press up through plank or tabletop, hips high and back into our downward facing dog. Let's find 3 breaths here. Keep that head nice and loose, releasing any tension from our shoulders, from our neck. You can even allow your gaze to go fuzzy again, or even take your eyes closed. As you inhale, feel your spine lengthen, hips lift high, press down into those fingertips. As you exhale, let that heart melt down towards those legs, heels drop back down towards the earth, and just feel that power that you just created in your own body by having those inhales and exhales connected to movement. We pick up a little bit of heat. We feel the energy. We feel awesome, and we know we're going to do awesome things at this state conference. We're going to connect our body a little bit more intentionally. We're going to hold some postures a little bit more and give yourself a chance to check in with the power you genuinely have. On an inhale breath, release your right foot high towards the sky. Reach those toes high, finding that nice big stretch. And then as you exhale, we're going to bend our right knee, pull our right knee in towards our belly, then in towards our chest. Then we're going to look at that space right between our thumbs, and we're going to gently step it through. You can always use your hand to get here if you need to give yourself a little support. Now, let that back heel get heavy down towards the mat. This should feel like a really strong base. And on an inhale, we're going to sweep it up and around. And then as you exhale, land in a nice, strong lunge. On our inhale breath, you're going to feel like your toes are reaching away from each other. Fingertips are reaching away from each other. Crown is reaching towards the sky. And then keep everything reaching away. But as you exhale, sit a little bit lower. Pull those shoulder blades down your back. Let yourself find the power through your legs, through your core, through your arms, feeling the strength and control you have over your own body, that you have over your own sensation, and that you can let the stress go. You can let any tension or sensation go, and just know, look how awesome you are. Look how well you're doing. One more big breath here. Sit a little bit lower. On our inhale breath, we're going to flip our front palm so it's pointing towards the ceiling, and then reach it backwards, staying low in that front leg, reaching up and back, coming into a reverse warrior. Breathe into those side bodies just like we did during opening. And then as you exhale, come back through that T. Reach those right hands forward. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can go. And then elbow is going to come to rest on your knee. Make a fist with that right hand because you're powerful and you're awesome. And then reach that left hand high. Let's take our gaze up towards our left thumb, staying low in that front lunge. Inhale, reach tall. And then as you exhale, feel like that top hand is getting a gentle high five. We're finding a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a heart opener. Stay here for one more breath. Check the tension in your shoulders. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw. And then on your next inhale, let that top hand pull you tall. Straighten through that front leg. Come all the way around. Reverse triangle. We have a triangle with our legs. We're reaching up and around. And then on an exhale breath, let your hands come back down to the top of your mat. Back heel pops up. Inhale, step it back. Find your power pose, your plank pose. We're only here for one breath. Feel the strength, feel that control. And then as you exhale, let those elbows graze those ribs. Come all the way down to your belly. Press in with your toes, your low back. Inhale, press up into those fingertips, cobra pose. Exhale, release that forehead all the way down to your mat. Tell yourself you are awesome. Inhale, press it up through that plank or tabletop. Hips high and back, downward facing dog. Let's take a big re-energizing, reconnecting breath here. Reach those hips high. As you exhale, melt that heart towards your legs. Same thing, second side. Inhale, let that left leg reach high towards the sky. Reach those toes really, really tall, pressing in with your fingertips the whole time. And then as you exhale, bend that knee, pull it into your belly, into your chest. Look at that space right between your thumbs, and then gently step it through, using your hand to get there if you need to. Back heel falls down towards the earth, letting it feel nice and supported, nice and strong. Sweep it all the way up and around. Exhale, land in warrior two on this side. Feel how this side maybe feels a little bit different, maybe a little bit more powerful. Maybe it needs a little bit more attention. Wherever you are though, know you're strong, know you've got it. Inhale, reach those fingertips away from each other. Press those toes away, and then exhale. Soften those shoulders, sit low into that front knee. Feel the power, feel the strength here. You can gaze over those left fingertips. One more big breath. Find the softness. Now flip that front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior, opening up through those side bodies. Your back hand can rest on your legs, but try and not collapse. Stay nice and lifted through both your side bodies, reaching up and around. And then exhale, come back through that warrior two. Reach those left fingertips forward, reach, reach, reach. And then knee comes, or elbow comes to your knee. Make that fist feel nice and strong so you can soften through those left shoulders. And then inhale, those right hands up towards the sky. Gaze comes up towards your right thumb, really feeling that nice tall lift. And then imagine you get that nice gentle high five. Finding a little gentle twist here. And then on your next inhale, let that right hand pull you tall, straighten through your front leg, and two, reverse triangle on this side. So reaching through those left fingertips all the way down to those left toes. You can gaze down towards your right pinky toe. Little change coming up here, so pay attention. As you exhale, cartwheel it down towards the top of your mat. Pop that back heel up, but this time we're going to step it forward, making our way into our forward fold. Again, micro bend in those knees. Let your head feel nice and loose, releasing that tension from our neck, checking in with our breath, checking in with our body, making sure we're nice and in control. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Let that crown reach forward, pressing into those shins to let those shoulders stay nice and soft. Exhale, melt down into that forward fold. Making sure you are at least hip width distance. Let your left hand stay nice and heavy down on the mat. Make a really big deep bend into those left knees. Straighten through those right legs. And then inhale, press into that left hand to let that right hand twist up and open. Finding this nice gentle heart opener, nice little twist, and it should feel like a nice IT stretch through that right leg as well, allowing our entire body to feel the sensation of being in control while still being supported by the earth. Exhale, let yourself melt down into that forward fold. This time, let that right hand feel nice and heavy. Deep bend into that right knee, straighten through that left. And then inhale, let that left hand reach high, up and over, making your way into a nice gentle twist. Feeling your breath entering in your lungs and allowing some softness as you exhale. One more big breath. On your exhale, come back through neutral. On another inhale, press into your shins, straight spine, reaching through your neck, shoulders, and back, finding that halfway lift. Engage your belly, engage your core, and then sweep it up and around into our mountain pose. Reach those fingertips high. And then as you exhale, let your hands come down to heart center. We're going to continue to test some of our balance. So again, letting our feet fall about hip width distance and allowing yourself to feel like your feet are growing roots down into the earth. We're going to focus in on the left leg first. So let's go ahead and kickstand through our right toes. Lift up through that right knee slightly, pressing down into those right toes for balance. But now focusing in on this left foot. Let your left big toe press down into the earth. Your left knife edge of your foot press down into the earth. Left heels press down into the earth. Now all four corners of your feet feel like they are growing roots down into the earth. So once that left leg feels nice and solid, nice and engaged, nice and balanced, on your inhale, let that right knee open up towards the right hand side. So kind of like warrior two, but our legs are closer together. Now, find a point on the earth in front of you, whether it's a speck on the carpet, maybe a speck in the wood floor, whatever it is that you can laser focus in on. Laser focus in on it like it's your competition, and you are going to do so well. And you know all of it. You're just going to execute it so well. And begin to drag that foot in towards your ankle. Now, if this is a big test on your balance, if you're really swaying, you feel a lot of wiggle wobble, you're here. This is perfect. This is beautiful. This is where you get to practice that focus, just like you're going to focus in on that competition. If you have the balance, if you can, pull that foot in towards the inside of your calf. Now we're going to avoid the knee altogether, but if you need a little bit more, you can use your hand to make your way into your foot pressing towards the inside of your left thigh. Wherever you are, our knee is pressing back. We're opening up through our hips. We're focusing in on that drishti point, feet at ankle, at calf, or inside of your thigh. Wherever you are, drop your shoulders. Release that tension from your neck. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And then on an inhale, let that crown grow a little bit closer to the sky. Maybe grow an inch, keeping those hands together at heart center. If balance is really, really tricky, you can bring your hands to your hips. Sometimes that helps as well. But wherever you are, try and hang on for 3 more breaths. Every inhale, focus in on that superpower, how awesome you are. Every exhale, share it with your teammates, with your school, share it with your competitors here. There's a wiggle wobble for me. 2 more big breaths. Share the awesomeness with your exhale. Last one. Grow a little bit taller. Let that crown reach out. And just like you saw, if you fall out, just come back in. And then as you exhale, let that foot come back down towards the mat. Go ahead, pedal out through those legs, through those hips. Give yourself a little boogie, a little dance here. And then let's set up for second side. So now we are going to grow those roots down into our right foot. Kickstand through that left, come up onto your tippy toes, feeling your big toes press in, that knife edge, the heels, pressing down into the earth. Now all four corners pressing into your mat, even going down deeper through the floor into the earth. And now let that left hip open up. Knees are pressing towards the back. Bring those hands together at heart center. Or again, if you needed to, hands at hips are always okay too. Soften through your shoulders. And then go ahead and drag that ankle or that heel into ankle. Test your balance here. Find your drishti point, that point of focus, that point of unmoving energy, that point of superpower awesomeness right in front of you. If this balance is good, you can drag that foot up to your calf, pulling those knees back towards the back side of your space, wherever that is. And then again, if the balance is here, you can use your left hand to press your foot towards the inside of your thigh. Wherever you are though, try and find that focus, that single point of energy that isn't moving, that isn't swaying. And again, if you fall out, if you find so much wiggle wobble that you need to put your foot down, totally fine. Just come back to it. Just like if we find a little hiccup in our speech or in our presentation, in our competition, you just come right back to it. No problem. 3 more big breaths. Find that focus, find that energy. Inhale, feel the crown of your head lift really tall. Exhale, soften through your shoulders. Maybe this time, inhale, find a smile. Let your exhale share it with your space. Next inhale breath, go ahead, drop that foot down towards the earth. Give yourself that same wiggle wobble. And now inhale, reach those fingertips high towards the sky. Exhale, swan dive it down into your forward fold. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Feel all of that tension release, all of that balance. That balance is just like a competition. We're putting our body in a little bit of a stressful state to prove it to ourselves that we will be totally fine afterwards and that we can execute anything, we can do it, we can really be successful in whatever we are trying to accomplish. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Crown is reaching forward. Feel those spines nice and long. And then exhale, let those hands come down to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to get there. Inhale, step it back. Superman pose, power pose, plank pose. Press into those fingertips. Puff up through those shoulders. Engage your quads, engage your glutes. Feel the power here. And then exhale, traveling through knees or through plank. Come all the way down to your belly. Press in with the tops of your toes. Knees lift up and off the mat. Engage that low spine. 20% of the weight in our hands. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, press it up to plank or tabletop. Hips high and back. Make your way into your down dog. Find the biggest, deepest inhale breath you have taken yet. Really fill up those lungs, fill up that belly, fill up your entire body with all of this energy, all of this sensation. And then as you exhale, let it go, release it out into the space, send some good vibes to your advisor, to your teammates, and yet again to your competitors, feeling successful with all of this. All right. Moving forward, we are going to prove that that mind to body connection can be really powerful for us and can really show us how we are all superheroes with superpowers that are going to just rock our competitive events. We're going to find all those same shapes but we're only going to hold them for a breath. So listen closely as we're going to flow through all of these sensations of feeling and being superheroes. On your inhale breath, let that right leg reach high towards the sky. I'm right here on your screen if you ever need to catch up and look at it. As you exhale, bend your knee, pull your knee into your belly, into your chest. Look at your space right between your thumbs. Gently step it through. Use your hand to get there if you need to. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale breath. Sweep all the way up and around. Exhale. Land into your warrior two, reaching everything away. Flip that front hand. Inhale, grow tall. And then exhale into your reverse warrior. Stay here for a breath. Fill up through those side bodies. Sit it low on that exhale. Inhale, reach it forward. Right hand is reaching forward. Reach, reach, reach. Elbow to knee. Inhale, that left hand up and open. As you exhale, find that little twist, that high five sensation. Inhale, that top hand pulls you up. Straighten through that front leg all the way into your reverse triangle. Exhale, cartwheel it down towards the top of your mat. Pop that back heel up. Inhale, step it back. Plank pose, find the power. Exhale, traveling through plank or through knees. Come all the way to belly, elbows graze those ribs. Press in with the tops of your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, forehead to mat. Tell yourself you are going to rock your events. And then inhale, breath. Press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Big reset breath here. Feel the power pulling in through your toes, through those fingertips. Hips lift high. Exhale, send those good vibes out. Inhale that left leg high towards the sky. Reach it tall. Use your entire exhale. Bend your knees. Pull your knee into belly, into chest. Look at the space right between your thumbs. Gently step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up and open. Exhale, land into that warrior two. Inhale, flip that front palm. Reverse warrior. Fill up completely through those ribs. Really reach it back. Exhale, reach that left hand forward. Reach, reach, reach. Elbow comes to knee. Inhale, let that right hand lift nice and tall. Feel that crown growing tall, filling up, and then exhale. Find that gentle high five sensation, that little twist. Inhale, that top hand pulls you tall. Straighten through that front leg, all the way up and around. Reverse triangle. Feel the power. Little change coming up here again. Exhale, cartwheel down towards the top of your mat. Back heel pops up, and this time, step it forward. Find that forward fold. Feet about hip width distance. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Press into your shins. Reach that crown of your head forward. Exhale, melt down into that forward fold. Take a deep bend in your knees. Let your belly rest on your quad or on your quads to give yourself that support. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Know that you are awesome and you have got all of the rest of your experience that lies in front of you, that you are going to approach it like a superhero. Inhale, press into those shins, halfway lift. Feel that core engaged, and then sweep it tall all the way up and around into our mountain pose. And then hands come down to heart center. Whew, all that breath to body connection, all of that breath and movement should feel kind of tingly, really checking in with this ability that you all have right here, right now. Hips or feet at about hip width distance. We're going to come into our second round of our tree pose, the pose we practiced before, with an option right in the middle if you would like. So growing our roots into our left leg, kickstand through that right, Feel those big toes, that knife edge, the heels. Feel that connection with the earth. Open up those hips, letting those knees come out to the side. And then drag that foot in towards ankle, hands at heart center, hands on hips. Then find the same variation you went to before. Find that point on the carpet or on the floor, that point of focus. Giving yourself something solid to focus on helps you stay solid, and that goes for your competitions as well. And then once you find the sensation of the variation you were in before of tree pose, if your balance feels good, you feel nice and rooted down into the earth, your crown is growing tall. If you would like, you can grow some branches out to the side. You can reach your hands wide. You can reach them directly up overhead. Whatever is going to give you joy, whatever is going to give you the sensation of feeling like a superhero, find that posture here and now. And then find a smiling face for 3. Grow taller, crown reaches high for 2. Feel those roots growing in, the stability of who you are and the success that you have in front of you for 1. Go ahead and release those hands to heart center to hips. Release that right foot down towards the earth. Give yourself a little boogie. Shake it out through those hips. Shake it out through those knees, whatever it is that you need to just let it go, whatever sensation. Moving into our second side. Grow your roots into those right toes. Kickstand through that left. Big toe pressing down into the earth. Knife edge pressing down into the mat. Heels pressing down. Finding your connection here. Find that point on the earth in front of you, the unmoving energy that's going to keep you solid in here now, and permission to check back in there when you are in your competition, your presentation, whatever it is. And then open up those left knees, open towards the side, drag that heel in towards your ankle. Then check out the calf. Maybe finding the inner quad, inner thigh, wherever you were on the other side. Find that same variation. Feel those knees pressing back while those hips are pressing forward. Let that crown, the top of your head, grow an inch taller, and then grow those branches if the balance is there. You can find the same or different variation you did. You can allow yourself to maybe dance, to sway in the wind. Wherever you are, give yourself permission to feel the joy, to feel the excitement, to feel how awesome you are right here, right now, for participating in this yoga class, for participating in State FBLA, for giving yourself this chance to be so successful. And then on an exhale, release those limbs back in, release those feet down towards the earth. Give yourself a wiggle wobble, shake it off, shake it through those knees, and allow yourself to just feel the joy. Inhale breath, sweep it up and around, fingertips reach really tall towards the sky. Take your gaze up to your thumbs, and then exhale breath, swan dive it all the way down into your forward fold. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Let those stress muscles in your neck genuinely, seriously release. Now, heel toe your feet out wider than hip width distance. If you have a yoga mat, let your feet go almost as wide as those mats, and then bend your knees a lot. Let your head feel nice and heavy, really allowing yourself to settle down into your space. Now your hands can just melt down onto the ground, or if you would like to try, you can clasp opposite elbows and take a full body sway. Sway, yes. Sway side to side. Whatever organic movement is calling to you, just letting your head feel nice and heavy, releasing through all of the tension of our shoulders, our neck, our upper back, our lower back, and even all the way down into that low back. And then find stillness for just a breath. Maybe closing your eyes on your exhale. Let those hands melt down towards the earth. heel toe those feet all the way in this time to let your big toes come to touch. Let those heels have a sliver of space in between them, and then come up onto your tippy toes using your hands for balance, and then bend your knees a lot, curling into a tiny little seed towards the top of your mat, really allowing yourself to curl up and in. Face comes in towards your knees, and it's like you're giving yourself a tight squeeze here. You're really thanking yourself for all the power you have been able to generate. And then using your hands for balance, softly land onto your seat. And then feel your heart puff up and through, reaching towards the sky. Give yourself a smile. Thank yourself for all of this energy and attention that you were able to just spend on being really awesome. And then on an exhale breath, press every vertebrae down into the mat one by one, giving each its slow attention, and then let those hands come to rest on the mat. Knees are going to stay bent, and then shorten the distance between your hip bones and your ribs to press that low spine down into the earth. Really feel that connection. Let your gaze go soft, or maybe even take your eyes closed and take one really big breath. Fill up your lungs, fill up your belly, fill up your entire body with the awesome sensation of how awesome you are. On an inhale breath, pull that right leg up and over those left knees, giving yourself a little bit of compression here. And then as you exhale, let your knees gently fall over towards the left-hand side. Just let them get nice and heavy. We're not forcing anything. We're not pressing in any way. We're just letting gravity pull our knees over towards the left-hand side. Now take your hands out to a T, palms up or palms down. You can even find cactus arms here, and let your gaze fall over towards the right thumb. So we're finding a nice gentle twist to close out class today. You can let your gaze go fuzzy yet again, unblur your vision or blur your vision, or allow your eyes to go closed, and find 3 really big, deep breaths into whatever sensation you're experiencing, whatever tension you're experiencing, and use those exhales to soften. Just like when we're in competitions or in tests, or even when you're trying to accomplish something at school, every inhale, feel all of the energy come into your body, and then use your exhales to release that stress, to release the tension, to release whatever expectation you have moving forward, knowing that you've got it. One more big breath on this side. On your next inhale, come back through midline, gently pull those knees up in towards space. Release that right foot down towards the earth. Your hands can stay where they are. Now shorten the distance between your hip bones and your ribs. Find that low spine connected with the earth. Should feel really nice. And then inhale that left leg up in space. Allow it to come and cross over those right knees. Big inhale breath. And then as you exhale, your knees are going to fall towards that right-hand side. Again, you're not forcing anything. You're not using your hand to press your knees down. You're just letting gravity take over. Now take your gaze over towards the left hand thumb. Let that gaze go fuzzy. Unfocus your eyes, or even take your eyes closed. And again, use your breath here. Use your breath to release any tension. Use your breath to release any sensation, and recognize how, more than anything, your breath is your superpower. It is that life force, that thing that gives us energy, that gives us life, and it is the thing we can always tap into if we feel stress, if we feel tension, if we feel overwhelmed at all. take a nice, big, deep belly breath and a big, slow, controlled exhale. And then check back in with whatever was giving us that sensation. One more big breath on this side. Slow, controlled exhale. Inhale, gently come back through midline, returning those knees towards the center. Release the cross of the left leg, realign those hips, press that low spine down into the earth. And now bring both knees up in space and give yourself a squeeze. You can reach towards your elbows, towards your forearms, or even just take both your fists into your knees and pull into your space. Now scrunch your toes, your feet, your calves, your shins. Engage your hamstrings, your quads. Squeeze your glutes, your belly, your chest, your back. Now bring your shoulders up off the mat, scrunching your fingers, your forearms, your upper arms. Now scrunch your face like you just bit into something beautiful and sour. And then as you exhale, let everything go. Feet fall away from each other, hands fall away from yourself, and let yourself feel nice and heavy on your mat. Let your eyes go closed or gaze go fuzzy, and then just allow yourself to float off into the sensation of our superpower, the sensation of your awesomeness, the sensation of Shavasana. Slowly begin to bring some awareness back into your space, back into the room, and back onto your mat. Bring some intention and attention back into your breath and back into your mind. Slowly begin to reawaken your body by wiggling your toes, tickling each one of your fingers with your thumb, and finding any little micro movements that your body is craving right here and now. Once you feel like you have fully arrived back into your mind, let your fingertips reach up overhead while your toes reach forward, finding a nice, full, big, deep body stretch. Now keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft, pull your knees up into space and gently roll over onto your right bicep, letting your left hand come to rest right in front of you, finding this final shape, this final posture of class, the shape of reawakening, welcoming yourself back into your day, back into your space, and back into your FBLA state experience. Using that left hand as a prop while you keep your eyes closed or gaze soft, gently press up into a comfortable seated position, yet again, towards the top of your mat. Bring those hands together, heart center, press your thumbs into your sternum, drop your chin towards chest, thanking yourself for giving yourself this opportunity to practice your superpowers, for practicing that breath to body connection, for giving yourself this edge in your competition, in your schoolwork, and in life, and knowing that we are all genuinely superheroes. We just need to tap into it. On an inhale, bring those thumbs to that third eye center. Lift the chin slightly in a sign of appreciation and awareness of the energy and effort we were all able to share today. Please know that the inner teacher and light within me recognizes and so appreciates the inner teacher and light within each of you. And one way to say this is to bow our heads and say, Namaste. Thank you again, everyone, so much for participating in this superhero yoga session. Good luck with the rest of your state experience. I hope that you are all so successful and so proud of yourselves for the accomplishments you've already endured and have already undertaken. Again, my name is Jackie Geiselman, and I so appreciate being part of your experience.